So one of the coolest places I have ever been, I talk about it in From Here to Eternity, available wherever books are sold, is Columbarium in Tokyo. Ashes of community members are stored behind walls of LED glowing Buddha sculptures. Not only is this setup futuristic and interactive, it saves space. Cemetery space is a huge issue in Japan, especially Tokyo. Many cities are thinking about what to do with our dead when space is limited. From skyscrapers to cruise ships, the question is, what do we do with the dead when they have no place to go? In major cities where the living can't find reasonable apartments, let alone some small slip of green space, burying the dead can be a real problem. There simply isn't enough room for everybody. Everybody. In densely packed places like Hong Kong, there could be a years-long wait to get buried in your preferred cemetery, not to mention the high fees required to procure and maintain your plot. Easily tens of thousands of dollars. Cremation isn't always a space saver either. Sure, your body can be reduced to cremated remains, but if you want them held in a columbarium, you still have to find one that has room. Even a teeny space for your urn could also come with a long wait and a hefty price tag. So where's a corpse to go? Well, deathlings, the future is vertical. While we're not quite at Jetsons level tech of driving around in flying cars or living in the clouds, or having a Rosie. I'd like a Rosie. The reality of our dead residing near the heavens is upon us. At the, I'm gonna butcher this, Memorial Necrópole Ecumênica in Santos, Brazil, the dead can have the option of choosing a sea view or a rainforest view. Currently the tallest cemetery in the world, the Memorial is over 108 meters tall, has 14 floors with 150 tombs per floor, and can house more than 14,000 total dead. Erected in 1983, the Memorial has plans to grow even taller to 32 floors, increasing its capacity to 25,000. But this ain't your grandma's vertical burial space. Like a luxury hotel, the Memorial boasts such things as an aviary with parrots and toucans, a goldfish pond, several gardens, a restaurant, and an imperial room in which 300 funeral attendees can imbibe from the minibar or order a snack from waitstaff. Of course, it also has a columbarium, mausoleums, an ossuary, and an on-site crematory. Need to stay overnight? No problem. The facility also has suites for its living guests, as well as a 24-hour nursing staff. If you choose to be interred there, a 3-year-long plot rental, which is approximately how long it takes to decompose, will run between about $5,000 and $21,000 USD on average. After the 3 years are up, your family can choose to keep renting or have your body cremated to make room for another corpse. Space saving. While all of this may sound absurdly lavish, consider that with each burial, the Memorial is not taking up any new land, helping to combat the shortage of burial space and overcrowding in the city. And other cities have created similar vertical burial spaces. Take Yarkon Cemetery in Tel Aviv, where the dead can reside in one of 3 floors in one of 3 towers. As the flagship project of the sprawling cemetery, 30 vertical spaces will eventually accommodate 250,000 new graves, while still respecting Jewish ritual burial law. Each burial chamber has a dirt floor with at least 30 centimeters of soil between the dead, as is required. To honor the Jewish tenet that each person should be buried as an individual, cement walls separate the dead. And in keeping with the law that the dead should be connected to the earth, every chamber has dirt columns that run all the way down to the ground. Yarkon Cemetery has found modern solutions to overcrowding that don't compromise people's beliefs. But vertical doesn't necessarily mean building vertically. Sometimes it can mean being buried vertically, or standing up. At Curweeton Road Cemetery in Australia, about 200 kilometers west of Melbourne, the dead are buried by the appropriately named upright burials. But upright burials isn't just saving space by burying people upright, though each plot is 1/3 the size of a traditional plot. Curweeton is also a green burial ground. Woo! Every every person buried at Caerwetton has a tree planted in their honor at nearby Mount Elephant to offset the carbon emissions created in the burial process. Burial at Caerwetton Road Cemetery costs about $2,500 USD. Way to go, we're giving you Caitlin's seal of approval. Not that you probably even care or need it, but hey, this American Mortician on YouTube likes it. But you can't talk about the future of cemeteries without at least mentioning Hong Kong's hope to build a cruise ship Columbarium. Not only would the Columbarium go vertical, accommodating 48,000 cremated individuals and 1,000 living visitors, but it would entirely forego taking up any of Hong Kong's critically crowded land. With columbaria space at a premium, a deficit of 400,000 urn spaces are expected by 2023. So innovators, architects, and investors have been trying to make the floating eternity a reality for years. Ideally, the ship would stay in Kowloon Bay for most of the year, but would occasionally actually cruise. Along with visiting the dead and attending funerals on board, people could enjoy the typical amenities of a cruise ship, including restaurants, a movie theater, hotel rooms, and a gym. Dinner, a movie, and the cremated remains of 48,000 people. Sounds like a date night to me. These are just a few of the many cemetery innovations that people are working on around the world. And while the public can be slow to come around, you know the whole,
I don't want to see the death skyscraper outside my window.
Times they are a-changin', we don't really have a choice. So remember, deathlings, you will die. But it's #Cemetery Week, so between the videos, the order blog, and our social media posts, you might learn something about where you'd like to go when you do die. Because you will. This video was made with generous donations from death enthusiasts just like you. You will die.